Everyone, this is Leslie from Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm going to start off this video by saying sorry that the quality is going to be kind of sucky, and there are a couple of reasons for that. Number one, I don't have a table set up where I can set up the tablet and talk to you, so it's going to be a little shaky. Sorry about that. Also, I'm not going to show you the fabric of the month for April and May. I'm going to do that with June's next month. And I'm going to kind of give you a tour of my house. Right now, if you're in my Facebook group or have looked at my website, you know that we had a water leak. In fact, we had 3 water leaks. First, one of the showers leaked, and then the overflow in the master bathroom leaked, and then as a result of all of the stuff going on, we actually had the air conditioner clog up, and it leaked buckets. So our house is kind of in a disarray. I'm not dying right now, and I can't, and I'll show you why. But also, I kind of want to give you an idea of what's going on with me. I do have a couple of whips. I have a finish I'm excited to show. So I'm going to do kind of the house tour to start. And then I'll show you my whips and stuff. Okay, so this is my living room. As you can see, there's nothing on the walls. The vents are pulled off. The only thing that was supposed to happen in here was they were going to paint the ceiling. That was it. Well, we realized last week, sorry about the light, I'm kind of, like I said, I don't really have a good place to do this, that when they painted the ceiling, they didn't cover the floors. So the carpet in here, which was not supposed to be replaced, is now splattered in paint. They're supposed to come in and take a look and see if they can clean it. They said if it's water-based, it should come up and it won't be a big deal, but if it's latex, well, they better be giving me new carpet. They just moved my furniture in because I was living in camp chairs and with nothing. We were just no TV, no nothing. We were just sitting in camp chairs because that's what all the furniture was outside in the pod. Up next, this is my kitchen. Sorry about that. You can see there's no floor, no kitchen table. You can also see some of the cabinets are missing. Vents are missing. What they had to do is one of the cabinets is being replaced because it was water damaged. A couple of the cabinets, actually. They had to drill holes under the cabinets to dry them out, so the toe kicks on the bottom are going to be replaced. The floor was damaged, so that's going to be replaced. And they had to texture the ceilings. So right now, the biggest wait is on the floors. We're waiting for the floors to come in. It took them 3 weeks to bring me a sample book to even pick the floors, but that's what we're waiting on. This is my utility room. You see those empty shelves? That's where my dyes live. So this is also getting a new floor. But I can't dye because I don't have access to the utility room or the kitchen. As of right now, anything that was on the shelves in the utility room, like where I kept my dyes, and on the other side of the utility room is where we kept food, is all on the kitchen counter. So you can see right there, that's half our pantry just kind of chilling on the kitchen counters. So we have no counter space because it's all taken up from food and stuff that was in there that couldn't go in the pod. This is our dining room. Yeah, so no floors. Again, they're doing floors in the entire bottom downstairs. They did the ceilings. This closet right here, I'm not going to open it because it's so dark, is where the AC leaked. So the whole inside the closet has to be redone. This is my office. It's empty. It has no floors. All of the stuff that was in here. So all of my stock, all of my fabric, my cutting table, my desk, my sewing machines, all of that are outside in that pod on the driveway. And the way it's organized, all the stuff in boxes is in the back and all the furniture is in the front. So I can't even access what's in there. So that's why everything is delayed. Everything's kind of a mess because I can't get to anything. Upstairs in my master bedroom, and I'm not going to go up there and show that, is where I have stuff for the business, just immediate stuff. So when I sell charts, I have envelopes and stuff up there. And I've been cutting fabric on the floor up there and serging on the floor, which is time consuming. It's next to impossible. But it's kind of the best I've got right now. So for all of those who are wondering why your stuff is taking so long. All right, let's see if that's there. I just sat the tablet on the edge of the couch, on the arm of the couch. So for all of those who are wondering why it's taking so long for me to get stuff done and why I'm a month behind on fabric of the month, it's because, well, I don't have access to my stuff. All my dye supplies are out in the pod. Even if I could get to them, my counter is covered in food because that's stuff they couldn't put in the pod, and I can't get to any of that. So the next step is waiting for floors to come in so they can put in the floors. They plan to finish the downstairs first because upstairs they need to put in carpet in a bedroom, new floors in both bathrooms, and a new vanity in one of the bathrooms. So they can do that after the downstairs is done. Nothing from upstairs is in the pod, so they want to go ahead and get the downstairs done so I can have access to my stuff. But since it's all in boxes, even if I get access to it, it's still going to take me a couple of days to unpack. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I'm not too behind this month either. This job was supposed to take 10 to 14 days. We are now 35 days into it. They started it on March 25th. So, I don't know. It looks like there's still at least a couple of weeks left to it. But, when it's done, at least I'll have a new kitchen floor and new carpets. But I don't know if that was worth all this frustration. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you my whips. I have 2 active ones right now. I will have a couple more because I'm going to do some for Mania. My first one is, which side's the front? That's the front. Let Freedom Ring from Lila's Studio. It's on 40 count Autumn Newcastle from Under the Sea Fabrics, of course. I'm really enjoying this project. I like working on 40 count. I originally started on 55 count, but I used a darker color and the red bricks just blended right in. So I switched to 40. I already have a place to hang it, so I kind of like working on it a lot. So I imagine I want to say, oh, I'm going to plow through it because there's, I like it so much. But that may not be the case. I like working on, I love working on One Nation when I work on it. But I only work on it for, a week or two. And then I'm like, okay, this can go back in the box. And then I'll pull it out later and do another stripe. My second whip is Bella Hydrangea from, it's Nora Corbett. It's on Ophelia Opal Cashel, so 28 count opal linen from Under the Sea Fabrics. This is kind of my stopping point for her for a while. For Mania, I plan to do, a couple of friends and I have decided that instead of doing one start every day for 17 days, which is like crazy, I can't eat. We did that once, never again. We're going to do one starting every Monday in May. So tonight I'm going to start Bella B, probably like at this bottom corner of this fabric. I screwed up on the placement of her. I should have placed her like over here so I could put a second one over there. I started her at the Mirabilia retreat last weekend because I needed something where I could just kind of stitch skin. Just stitch and not like have to think too much about it. I really like how she's coming out and I want to stitch all 4 of them. I have a place in my bedroom that would be perfect for all 4 to hang like in one place. So I'm gonna have to fudge and do some like funny math and, you know, play with the ruler and make sure like when I place Bella B on this piece of fabric that I have a couple of inches between them, so they have at least an inch-ish for, I think I'm gonna do them as a wall hanging. My finish was from last month. I started this back over the summer. I don't remember what day I started. I could probably look at Facebook and say, oh, this is the day I started, because that's usually what I do. But I finished Aphrodite Mermaid from Mirabilia. I converted the greens in her tail to pinks because I wanted her to look a little bit like a tetra fish. Is that what it's called? Tetra? So, and I converted her to all silks. So it's hard to tell, but I used her overdye silks for all the colors except for the black. The black's not an overdye. Either I use silk or I use silk lame braid. Her skin is all done over one. I chose not to stitch the shell. I just really liked her, so I only wanted to stitch her. And also, she had these big pearls that kind of went around her. I filled those areas in and used these little real pearls. So that's my finish. It's my first finish this year, I think. Hell, the way I'm going, it might be my only finish. But that's kind of what I'm doing. My next few starts are all for Mania. Stitch Mania starts today. So today I will start Bella B. Next Monday I'll start either Bella Rose or Bella Butterfly, and then the third I'll do Bella the other one. So I want to do all 4. And I'm kind of hoping, see, this was only about a week's worth of work. If I could get all the skin and most of the hair done on each one each week, at the end of Mania I can kind of plow through the flowers and the background. My other 2 starts are going to be, I have 3 in mind. I want to do a South Sea Mermaid conversion from Mirabilia because I don't love that light seafoam color she is, the light seafoams and pinks. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I keep thinking maybe I'll do her the same colors as Siren and the Shipwreck, that really bright blue and the really bright green. But I just did this giant bright blue one, so I don't know if I'm gonna want to work with blue. I've got 3 weeks to think about it. I don't know. It's not gonna be my first start. I also want to do, I have the Beautiful Sea Quaker Stitch Long from the Ship's Manor. I started it on one piece of fabric and I didn't love it. So I went ahead and re-dyed another piece of fabric and I converted it to all of his silks. So I'll be doing it in silks instead of cottons. And I think I have most of that kitted up. I'm not sure if any of that's out in the pod. That's the problem. My stash is out in the pod because a lot of it was in my office. And so I'm kind of stuck with whatever I can access without. So I don't really want to, I don't want to buy anything, so I'm not sure. And then my last one I want to do is, I also have Fish and Bait from Plum Street. And I haven't looked through my fabrics to see what I have. I'm not sure what my plan is there. That's, you know, I figure if I start Bella B this week, I'll worry about her, and then I can start worrying about the other 2 Bellas, and I'll have 2 weeks to worry about those, and then I'll have another so I've got 3 weeks before I figure out my last two starts, whatever they end up being. I don't know. Who knows? I might like the Bellas so much I say for the last week, I'm just gonna work on these and finish them. So we'll see. I don't have any stash right now. I do. I've gotten a few things, but everything's either shoved in the pod or it's in a pile up in my bedroom. It's just a mess. So I'm not really organized enough to show you. That's part of the reason I don't have the May and April fabric of the month to show you like I usually do, is because they're just all kind of everywhere. Everything I own is all kind of everywhere. When I start thinking, I need to do this, I need to do that. Yeah, and that means I have to find something, and I don't know. I can show you my Coven of Ursulas that I got in the mail the last couple weeks. See? Aren't they cute? If you've gone to a retreat with me, you know Ursula. I have a handful of Ursulas. They're like, I specifically have like the plastic pop ones that I put like out at my table. I had 3 already, and now I've added 4 more. So I love this one because she's wearing the Triton, and I like this one. She looks really smug. And then that's Angry Ursula and Zoom Zoom Ursula. So they'll go in my stitch bag, and when I go to retreats, they just hang out with me. But that's kind of like, I just don't have stash to show right now until I really get organized and get stuff figured out. I'm hoping that the floors go in by the end of this week. They told me the end of last week, but they hadn't been as of Friday, they hadn't even been delivered to the contractor yet. So I don't know. So hopefully floors by the end of this week, because once the floors are in, they can do, like they said, it's basically punch out work. So once the floors are in, the rest of it's less than a week's worth. Like it's just taking out and putting in a new vanity. It's just replacing replacing that one cabinet, and that's already been built, but they can't put it in until they replace the floor. And like putting all the vents back up and putting all my light fixtures back up. It's all just like routine stuff, and bringing all the stuff in from the pod, which I then have to unpack all of it, which is, like I said, another couple days. But it's one of those trials. I'm just kind of like, oh, it'll get done eventually, it'll be fine. So I also have to fly to Virginia. My parents have been very generous, and they bought a new car, and they are giving us their old car. They're like, it's got 300,000 miles on it, and I was like, that's perfect. My kids are 2 years from starting to get their driver's license, get their driver's permits, so we can just putt around it with it and it'll be a perfect car for my kids, because if they mess it up, it's their own deal. So we need to go. I have to fly to Virginia so I can drive it back. I was hoping to go this week because they're still doing all this work on the house, but I can't. Like, the flights are so expensive, so it'll be in a couple of weeks, right about when they're done, when I should be working. So yeah, this is why I'm stressed out. Thank you guys for all of your patience. I appreciate it. I will post the conversion for Aphrodite Mermaid on my blog at stitchingunderthesea at blogspot.com. I will also post pictures. I didn't take many, but I took a few pictures from the Mirabilia retreat. That was last weekend. That was amazing. You guys were great. We had some new people, and everybody was just... It was this is my 5th year organizing the Mirabilia retreat in the U.S., and the first 4 years, I came home after the retreat and slept for like 36 hours. It was just exhausting. This year, everything went really smoothly. There was no drama. There was no bickering or infighting. None of that. So it was all super easy, and I slept well. The hotel was great. So I think the biggest drama we had was that one of the elevators at the hotel was broken. So it took you forever to get up and down, and the conference room was on the 10th floor. But other than that, everything went smoothly. So I'm actually not, I'm not feeling as exhausted as I usually do after that. But yeah, thanks for watching. I will hopefully do another video in in a few weeks once my house is back together. I'll show up all my whips from Mania and try to gather up what kind of stash I've acquired. I wish I could say it was a lot. It's just a couple of patterns, my mystery bits from Stitching Bits and Bobs, stuff like that. I ordered a couple of silk grab bags from the Ship's Manor, so I'll have those in a couple of weeks. So, yeah. Thanks for watching. Thanks for your patience.